All right, Ashley, let's check out your butterfly. All right, very nice. I'm not even going to talk about your streamline until we get underwater. We'll see it better under there. Keep that head nice and still when you're not breathing. This looks good. Stay a little bit lower. You can see that your head and your hands are entering at the same time. Remember, you want to have your head down before your hands go in, and that's going to allow you to get into that nice chest press. It's also going to allow the recovery to be a little bit easier. You can see here in this video, you have Michael Phelps, and you can see just how relaxed the recovery is. The head, he's on his way back down almost by the time his arms get to his shoulders. You can see he's on his way back down, head's underwater, arms have just come past the shoulders, and that way he's pressing the chest underwater as his hands are entering. So you want to really think about taking that breath very early in the stroke, getting the head back down as quickly as possible. You don't need to lift up. You can see there's not a lot of lift happening. Head stays pretty stable. Not a lot of chest that you're seeing as he comes around. It's basically just shoulder. So you want to try and incorporate that a little bit more into your own swimming. You can see you get a little bit stuck when you're breathing because your head lifts up pretty high. You can see again here, head comes up pretty high, and it should be already back down as your hands have come past your shoulders. Stay nice and low to the water. That's going to be really helpful. And you can see when you're swimming, you have a little bit of a hitch, and I think you're just not quite incorporating your hips as much as you could. Make sure you're really starting stuff from the hips, using your hips in your stroke, so that it's not two separate motions of kicking from the knee and then making your arms go around. Switch over to the underwater camera. All right, this looks pretty good. You have a flatter butterfly than a lot of people, but you've got definitely the right idea in terms of pull pattern and what you're doing. We'll check out streamline and underwater. Streamline looks good. Keep those arms nice and tight. I think you can take a couple more kicks. Underwater kicking is kind of the fifth stroke, and so it's something that you really want to start focusing in on early in your career, so you don't have to change anything when you get to college. All right, you can see here your chest is pressed, but you're pretty straight in the arms, and you start to get your catch a little bit late in the stroke. You want to try and get that catch as early as possible. And you can see here, Missy Hyman has just entered on her stroke, and she's already got that nice high elbow catch. As she comes through, she stays pretty flat in her stroke, but pretty much upon entering, those elbows are up and she's in that catch. Chest is pressed, nice high elbow catch. You've got the right idea. I think you can just get into your catch a little bit earlier. Yeah, and you can see that you're definitely kicking a lot from the knees. If you watch a video of Michael Phelps, I'll just pull in this picture, you can see he also has a knee bend, but the position of the body is a little bit less steeply angled. Also, let's see, as you go forward, you can see here at the same point in the stroke the different angles of the body. You want to be moving up and forward a little bit at this point. And here you can see you're a little bit sinking in the hips and your feet are totally out of the water. So just things to think about. You definitely want to use some knee bend in your kick, but you don't want that to be the primary place that your kick is coming from. Really accelerate those hands through. Make sure when you enter out front, you don't want to dive those hands down. You want to keep those hands up near the surface and try and get right into that high elbow catch. And there's a lot of good things in your butterfly, and I think if you can work on some of those suggestions, you'll get a lot of better.